know you're crazy, but I only wanna be with you. You think I'm shady cause I'm out here trying to make some moves, but it ain't like that. Just know that I'll be right back. I'll give you all my time just to let you know you're mine. It ain't nothing. Promise I'ma do it all to give you something. This love I got is only for you. You're my comfort, my future husband. I'ma give you all my heart, yeah, all of it, yeah. Baby, I know that I gotta come fix it. You the only nigga that I be missing. Swear I'm coming home to give you the business. Turn off my phone and can leave me a message. I'ma just cover your body with kisses, kisses. Rub your body down, you know that I miss it, miss it.
Welcome to Happy Hour with Lito. I'm your host. Today I got a special guest. This is the host of SheTalksFootball Podcast, y'all. All right, and she repped the Ravens. Y'all see, I'm in my Tennessee Titan gear.
So you know I had to come.
Miss Regina, how you doing today?
I am doing good. Thank you so much for having me on here. You know I'm always hyped to talk about my Ravens.
Yeah, we're going to get into your Ravens.
Yeah. But I think the NFL, we're really trying to get this whole like Ravens, Titans, kind of thing going. So I'm feeling this.
That's cool. We're going to get into some NFL talk today. We're going to talk about our teams, of course.
Yeah.
And let you talk about your podcast too, your platform and everything that you do. First and foremost, I always, whenever I have a guest on, I like to, I'm an advocate for mental health, and I like to ask, how people are doing. So, how are you doing today? And then also expand a little bit on how have you been doing during the pandemic? Like, how have you been able to keep everything together?
Yes. So I'm actually doing pretty good right now. I'm going to have to admit, it's been a rough year. Not only, have we had the pandemic, but I am a full-time caregiver. So I take care of my mom who has MS and my brother who has special needs. Okay. So any year, pandemic or no, that is very stressful if you're a full-time caregiver. And then add on top of that, the pandemic, trying to keep them safe, right? Making sure I don't get ill because, I need to take care of them. So it's been a lot, and I'm going to have to be honest with you, probably around end of May, June, and July, I was actually suffering some. I was actually down. I went into some type of depression, but thankfully I was able, to come out of it, and I'm feeling back to myself. I'm feeling fine. Responsibilities are still the same, right? But, I was able to bounce back, so I'm feeling really thankful for that it was at least people around me. Well, here's the thing. When you fall into those things, most of the time we don't reach out and we don't say anything. You're right. That's what we need to do, but we don't do that. And so, unless people are really perceptive, or they talking to you, or they catching up on some things, that's how things can happen. So I did that, but I'm a confessor. You can ask any of my friends, I'm a confessor. So after I kind of came through it, that's when I kind of confessed, you know what, I was kind of down for a couple of months, and everything, and got all my, they showed their care, got my threats, don't ever do it again, make sure you reach out. But we don't reach out. That's when true. People are struggling, they don't reach out and ask for help. So that's true. Come on, people. Let's reach out. There are people there who can help us. So let's reach out. So, but thankfully, other than that, we have not been ill. Thank God. Physically we've been fine. My mom she was ill, got kind of heavy, but she's good. She's come through. So I just want to thank God for keeping us during all of this time, and we're doing great. So I have no complaints. And thank you for asking.
Oh no problem. I know how it is. Because. Myself, we deal with a lot of things too. Here in Ohio, like the pandemic's been crazy. So, right. I'm glad that you're doing good though. That's, that's a blessing in itself, and as men, we internalize a lot. So we don't really talk to people about anything anyway. Right. Yeah. So, well, that's good. That's good. So you started your podcast, I like to think that I kind of forced you to do that. Talk a little bit about, where you're from. So, we can see, that your team is the Ravens, but but talk a little bit about where you're from and how did, the podcast come about?
Okay, so I'm in Maryland, hence the hardcore Baltimore Ravens fan that I am, and just have loved football for some time. But I would say for real, probably in the last like 10 years, I've become really a hardcore football fan altogether, like not even just the Ravens, but a football fan. And it was kind of something like I just always just wanted to talk about football. And it got so bad for a few years that literally my friends were like, Regina, can we talk about something else other than football? And I'm like, but why? Why do we want to talk about something else? So it got so bad I talked about football so much. I was like, wow, I need some other areas, some other people so I can keep talking about football. And because they just didn't share the same excitement that I did. So, I kind of always dreamt about doing something like this, and being able to talk about football. But it was, you just don't think you can actually do anything like that. But actually being a part of the ClubHouse community, which is where I met you, and so glad that I did. I started the room on ClubHouse. She Loves Football. That's my room on ClubHouse. And you started coming in. Like, I met so many great people, and you were definitely one of those people. And
I appreciate that.
As soon as I mentioned, I think I want to start a podcast. I mean, you definitely, got right behind me and was like, okay, this is how you can do it. You checked in and was like, okay, look, this is what I use. This is how you can do it. You gave me a lot of help. And it's like, okay, so I just need to do it. But, you kind of, you get a little afraid. But thankfully, between you, my friends around me, they just start recording. Just record something. Something. And so people really pushed me to do it. And then along the way, I came across, or rather they came across me, this platform, content creators called The Undroppables. I always say it like that. I don't know why. But The Undroppables. So go follow them, you guys. The Undroppables, reached out to me and, said we really love the way, you run your room on ClubHouse and, what you talk about and all that good stuff. And they wanted me to join their team and be on that platform. So I am. So I am on the Undroppables platform. You will be able to hear my podcast on their platform, so you can follow them. They will also be on my own YouTube channel, which is She Talks Football. And the audios will be wherever you listen to your podcast, Spotify or Apple or whatever. You'll be able to also listen to the audio podcast there. So you'll be able to watch a video or listen to the audio. And I actually they're actually currently being edited right now. So my first two should be out, and by next week I should be able to actually drop those. But thankfully I've had opportunities to do appearances on other podcasts like yours, which I'm so wonderful. So yeah. So which is so wonderful. So I'm super happy to be here with the happy hour with Lito.
That's right. That's what's up. Yeah, I went and followed the Undroppables too. So
cool beans.
Yeah, I'll be making sure that I, tune into your podcast whenever you post it. Just shoot me a link and I'll share it.
Sure.
All of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Follow me on Twitter, you guys. I think it's on there. She Talks Football. So definitely follow me on Twitter, and I'll definitely be posting everything there.
So let's get into some AFC talk.
Okay.
So your Ravens, what was their record last year? What did they end up with?
We ended up with that 11-5.
Okay, and, same as us. Same as us. Okay.
Made it on into the playoffs. The Steelers actually won the division, even though nobody really remembers that. But they did. They won the division at 12-4 after going 11-5. After going 11-0 straight. And so they did win the division at 12-4, but we wind up actually tied with the Browns at 11-5. But we had the tiebreaker. So, yeah, that's what we did. So, yeah, the Titans won 11-5. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah, y'all had the MVP.
Yeah. We
Lamar Jackson.
Still got
how do you, so, after seeing, preseason is starting up now.
Yeah.
First of all, is Lamar going to stay out of COVID? I mean, what's going on? Like,
I was just about to say, bro, he got off the list today. So he was reactivated from the reserve COVID list today. So we were happy about that. I mean,
just stay in your own bubble for right now. You know what I mean?
I
like
mean,
during the season, at least. I mean, do what you want to do in the off season, but come on. You know, y'all risk so much. You know what I mean? Like your family, your career. You know, I know that you're young, but you know, they risk a lot, you know, going out here and just partying and stuff like that. So, you know, hopefully, you know, he'll be able to just, you know, keep himself grounded for the season, you know, because y'all want to win a Super Bowl, but y'all got to go through Tennessee. But you got, you know.
Well, I'm not going to say he was out there partying and that's what happened.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the dude does. He just did his charity event, you know, a few weeks ago. So that could have been a possible source. He had like 1,000 kids there, and he was definitely interacting with them. So obviously, you know, and you know, in the video at least I saw, I didn't, you know, see too many people with masks on and things like that. So that could have been a source. I also heard from someone actually in my room on ClubHouse that who kind of knows some things that he's done, you know, like some video shoots and things like that.
Okay.
And they said, you know, they were there and some, you know, people didn't have a mask on. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly when it happened. I just wanted to make sure it's clear. It's not because he was necessarily, you know, hitting up clubs and stuff
right,
like
for
that.
Sure.
But he is active in his community and he is doing things. So, yeah, I need bro to take care of himself. I need him to go ahead. Even if you have the vaccination, I think you still should be. It's my personal thing, and they're actually recommending it now. You know, go ahead, try to social distance, definitely wear a mask. You know, we need to do those same things to try to keep the transmission down. And especially with this Delta variant out here, that thing is crazy. So so yeah, I need my boy to take care of himself. This was like his second time, you know, testing positive. I don't know if he was legit ill this time. I hadn't necessarily heard. I know he was ill when he got it last year. He was legit sick. So I'm hoping he wasn't sick this time. That he just tested positive, but I'm not sure. And I don't know, you know, I'm not going to sit up here and say, dude, go ahead and get the vaccination. I still do believe it's a personal choice, but whatever choice you make, then you need to act accordingly. Right. And so that does, you know, that may mean you can't do this, that, and the other. You can't go everywhere. You got to wear your mask, you know. You got to do things to just keep yourself healthy. So, you know, whichever way you side on this particular issue, in both cases, you need to take care of yourself, whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, especially with this Delta variant out here. So
I was going to ask you that too.
We won't have this anymore.
I was going to ask you that because, you know, it seemed like the NFL is about to lean towards, well, they are leaning toward, they're kind of putting the pressure on the players to get vaccinated.
Right.
How do you, I know you feel like, you know, I feel like it's a personal choice.
Right.
And which it is, but if it's going to affect money, you know, for these players, like, how do you feel about that?
Oh, you know, we've had a lot of talks in the rooms about this particular subject, and you know, the what the NFL brought down in terms of what's going to happen. You know, if there's a breakout on your team and you find out that the source was from an unvaccinated player, and you know, if they can't reschedule the game, then everybody's going to lose money. And you know, things get funny when you talk about losing money.
That's right.
And that, you know, and that possibly the team that had the breakout would have to cover the salaries of the other team. Like it's kind of crazy.
I didn't hear that.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what I read. That's how that was going to. I could have misinterpreted that, and if I do, forgive me. But it's extremely punitive, and it's punitive for a reason, because they're trying to strongly encourage, you know, all the players to get vaccinated. Even though, as we saw from the coach from the Vikings, I think it was he was the coach from the Colts. Reich, and some of the other players have fully vaccinated and still, you know, turned up positive. So I understand that it's a corporation, is a business, and they're trying to protect their business. They're trying to protect their money. They don't want to lose all of the money that they lost last season, and we know they lost a lot of money. So you know, something has to be done. But I'm always going to reside on the side of the players in terms of exercising agency. And my thought is, if you decide not to get the shot, okay, but then you need to be on the strictest protocol in terms of not interacting with people. You need to stay basically quarantined and isolated, either by yourself or, you know, with your family, some kind of way. Y'all need to stay quarantined and isolated. You got to wait. Like, you got to follow the protocol, like hardcore. So if that's the route that you want to take, follow that protocol hardcore. If you don't want to live like that, then it's kind of only really like two choices here, because you don't want something like that. That could be a deciding factor. I mean, forfeiting a game, like as it is with the AFC North, one game could separate the winning the division and trying to get in, as a wild card. So you can't afford to have any loss of games for something like that. So
that's true. I agree. The thing that I guess they don't really realize is whenever people get the vaccine, everyone has a different effect. You know what I mean? Some people are not affected at all. Right. But we don't know how football players, how it's going to affect their game. You know what I mean? Quarterbacks, they were right now in training camp. They said Ryan Tannehill was looking terrible. He's throwing interceptions and all kind of stuff, but he got vaccinated here recently.
Oh, did he?
It could be. Yeah, he said they kind of forced his hand to do so.
Oh, yeah.
It could be the fact of, he could be experiencing something that we don't know.
Some kind of side effect, right?
And, his throwing, he might not be able to really focus like he wants to on the field. And it could be anything, muscle twitches, anything in his throwing arm.
Right.
We just don't know. Right. So, we're looking at him like, oh, man, he's throwing these interceptions, but are they looking deeper into, I don't know. You know what I mean? I haven't heard anything else about it, but are they looking deeper into something like that? Because it could be something based off of, the vaccination that he just recently had to get, because he said, based off of everything, he's a team player, Tannehill's not going to, if it's a team thing, he's like, yo, I got to do what I got to do for the team.
Right.
And
he doesn't want to put his team in jeopardy.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, I hope that he starts looking better, but it could be because of the vaccine. And
I mean, you never know. I mean, for those of you listening, to this, you don't have to go, oh, look at the science, look at the studies. Right. We're not saying that, a lot of people, do not take the vaccination and they're fine. Certainly there are people who do, but certainly there are people who take the vaccination and there are side effects or adverse reactions, really is what it is. There are people who have adverse reactions, and you don't know how you're going to react to it until you have it. So you can't say that it's related to it at all, but you can't necessarily say that it's not related. Who really knows? So so I feel you on that.
So let's talk about, so this season, going into this season, who is the breakout player, and then I'll tell you mine. But who you think is someone that's going to have a great year from your team? Okay,
so we're going to have a few.
Okay.
But let's start with, I want to start with Rashad Bateman, of course.
Okay.
Number 12. I cannot even express to America and everyone around the world how much I love that dude already. And he hasn't even hit the field officially yet. But I just think that is the shot that we needed. I think Rashad is the shot that we needed. Like when I watch him in camp, and he's like, go back, check out his YouTube, you guys. He has a YouTube channel, Rashad Bateman, and you can really go back and it talks about he shows his life and leading up to it and things that's going on now. It's like, it's really cool. Well, it is for me because I love Rashad Bateman, but definitely check out his YouTube channel. But yeah, the dude has good hands. He has good route running skills. He has speed. When that dude takes off from the jump, like the speed, he's able to separate. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh, like we've needed him. So I am so pumped. I am so pumped for this season and for Rashad being there. And I'm looking for him to really, really have a breakout year, like a Justin Jefferson, like not Justin Jefferson numbers, because we simply don't pass as much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Our passing will increase, but just we don't pass as much. But just that kind of effect that Justin Jefferson had, I'm looking for Rashad to have that same type of effect on our team. Like just Rashad Bateman, ladies and gentlemen.
So you're telling me to get him because my league is Sunday. So you're telling me to get Rashad Bateman.
Oh
on my team.
I've done 2 leagues so far, and I've drafted him in both leagues. In the Scott Fishbowl League, I drafted him, and also in the best ball league that's running out of my room right now. So yeah, I'm always going to draft Richard as one of my wide receivers. I really think he's going to have a breakout year. Also, J.K. Dobbin. Now we all know J.K. Dobbin.
Ohio State, baby.
Right. And so he's actually done well, but I really think he's going to have a breakout year. Like, I'm looking for him.
Are they going to give him the ball
enough? I think so. I think even though we're going to have increased passing game, there's going to be a shift. I really believe there's going to be a shift with the additions of Sammy, with the addition and Rashard. We got Tylan Wallace. And the rest of our Marquise is still there, obviously. Obviously, we still have Mark Andrews, our tight end, and Nick Boyle is back. He's back because he went out, injured last season. Lamar is going to be able to get some airtime, and he's not going to have to run as much. I think sometimes Lamar runs because he have to. Everybody thinks, he just wants to run first. That's not true. Like, literally, if you go and look at games from last year, he was trying. He was looking downfield trying, but nothing's there, and dude has to take off running. So why not use that? But he's not a run first. He is not, can I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, he is not a run first QB. He really isn't. Go look at the games. So I think with having those options, with having some players that's going to be able to get open, because first of all, who are you going to double? Like, Mark Andrews kept getting doubled, and so they were already on Marquise. Marquise has speed, and so sometimes they were doubling. Like, who all were you going to throw it to? I think his options were more limited.
Right.
Not this year. So he's going to have more options, and so they're not going to be able to put 8 in the box, to try to keep them in. They're not going to be able to do that because you need to check out what Rashard's doing, what Sammy's doing, what Marquise is doing, what Mark Andrews is doing, what Nick Boyle. Like, they got to check for too many people now. So it's not going to be the same. So our passing game is going to be up. Lamar is not going to have to run as much. And so I think that with all of that, back to JK, he's going to get more because he's going to be able to do more running because Lamar is not going to have to do as much. He's still going to get his share. Like, that's why you always pick up Lamar for your fantasy football teams because he's going to get you the points on the ground or through the air. He's going to get you the points. So he's going to have it, but he's not going to have, not necessarily. I don't know if he's going to do like 1,000 and stuff like that. I expect JK to get somewhere around 1,200, 13, and he's real anxious to do so. And he wants some passes out the back and stuff too. He's been practicing that. So I expect him to be a breakout. Probably the other one that nobody's checking for, I'm hoping he can get some balls, is Prochet. Prochet the second. I want to respect his name, Prochet the second. We got Prochet last year. He's our kick returner. But the dude, he's been showing off in camp. He's actually showing me a little bit of an Anquan Bolden vibe. A little bit. And we've never gotten a replacement for Anquan ever since we cut him. One of the worst things our team has ever done. So yeah, I'm looking for Prochet. If he can get the ball thrown at him, he could possibly have a breakout year. So yeah, we're going to have a few players, but I'm going to go with those.
Gotcha. I think on my team, of course, we expect Derrick Henry to do what he's been doing.
Right.
He may not get. I know he wants to get 2,000 again, right? But
that's what I was about to say. 2,000 again.
He wants it. That's what he wants. I don't know how they're going to. You know what I mean? I don't. With our passing now, I believe they're going to pass a lot more, but he still can get 1,000. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad. They've been talking about this rookie, Racy McMath. He's from LSU. He's 6'2". And they're talking about he's probably he's going to be our 4th wide receiver.
Right.
That's over Cameron Batson. Cameron Batson is okay, right? he's okay receiver. But if this guy, they say he targets the ball real well. 6'2", 6'3". I mean, that's what you want. You want those tall receivers, especially for the end zone. And when they're in the red zone, they're probably going to be looking at him a lot.
Right.
I guess I just look at things like we were 11-5 last year, and we really didn't have the best offense. We had an okay offense.
Right.
I still think that we probably end up winning. Maybe we'll probably get 12. We'll probably be 12-5.
You wanted to say 13, though.
I was going to say 13.
You wanted to say it. I could see it.
But I'm trying to be humble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now when those guys are talking crazy in ClubHouse, and we're winning 13 games this year. Okay, so. But outside of that, defensively we've gotten better. Caleb Farley, everybody was like, oh, he got hurt. He's another rookie. He's a corner. And they didn't think he was going to be start season because he had that surgery on his back, but he's out there. He's cleared.
Okay. He's
out there on the field. I've been checking every day. They're saying nothing but great things about him.
Okay.
I mean, he's 6'3", fast. They had him out there checking Julio. So this guy, I believe he's gonna do some great things too. We just got a better team this year than last year, honestly. If Bud Dupree comes back and he's,
that was a good pickup you guys got.
Yeah. If he comes back and he's actually, healthy and able to just go crazy like he did for the Steelers last year.
Right.
I have no worries on the defensive end. Maybe I like Janoris Jenkins too. We got him in free agency. Jack Rabbit. He played great for the Saints last year. So we got some pieces. And Julio Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, AJ Brown right now. I mean, he had surgery too in the off season. He feels great. I seen what he was doing in practice, and I mean, he looks crazy. I don't know if it's just the fact of when certain great players come around you, it's like I gotta be
right.
So I don't know if it's like with Julio's presence being there, but this dude is. I mean, AJ probably put on 10, maybe 5 to 10 pounds of muscle.
Okay.
I mean, he's looking bigger. He's running fast. I mean, I just can't. I can't wait for the preseason. I like preseason. It's cool. You get to see like the what if
babies. I call them. Get the babies out there and fight for your job, babies.
Yeah, you get to see the babies and stuff like that. But I really, really do. I can't wait until September. Which September is it's going to be a great month for me. You know what I mean? Because that's when I get married too.
And congratulations on that, bro. I'm so excited. You and your beautiful fiance.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. That is wonderful.
I appreciate it. It's been a long time coming, and we've had to reschedule this thing because of COVID, and
right.
A lot of ups and downs because of everything, but
right.
We're here now. So
we're here now.
I'm forever grateful,
and it's worth the wait.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a September baby, so I like that September month anyway.
Really? What's your birthday?
The 26th.
26th. Okay.
Mm-hmm. 2 days after your wedding, right?
Yeah. 2 days after. Yep. I'm born in September also.
All right.
September 3rd is my birthday.
Okay.
My fiance's is the 17th.
Get out. Yep. So y'all got 2 birthdays and your anniversary. So y'all basically just going to be celebrating all month long.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be really, really a real nice time. I can't wait. But my breakout player, Josh Reynolds.
Okay.
I believe that AJ and Julio are going to have so much attention.
Right.
He's going to get in that slot, and he's about 6'3", 6'4".
Because nobody's going to be checking for him.
And he's going to catch a lot of balls. All he got to do is make sure he get to him.
Right.
That's it. Last year for the Rams, he did great for them. And they didn't, they had Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, but that's not like, you don't have to double team them. and he still did good. But this, you got to double team AJ or or play cover 2. If you play cover 2, you're gonna leave the middle of the field open, and he's gonna be right there. Josh Reynolds, first down.
That's a good situation for him for sure.
So I mean, it's up to him if he wants to get that, that whole, he wants his respect and he wants to be an elite receiver. This is going to be the perfect situation for him to come in, learn quick, and do what he needs to do, for the team and for himself. And if he starts catching up, he gonna get paid. Like, we'll pay him.
Right.
For sure.
mean, I expect that, we're going to see each other in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure somewhere along the line we're going to have to cross paths. Like I know,
especially after last year. I ain't like that.
That was sweet. That was
like
so
it.
sweet. Dude, y'all beat us 2 times in a row. Like, we have dignity. We have respect. We had to come back.
Well, what happened? You remember that incident that happened at the beginning of the game when all of the Titans were in the middle of the field.
Sitting on the Ravens, standing on the Ravens logo. That part?
Yeah, that part. Yeah. I don't know why, that happened. But yeah.
That didn't work out too well.
We got kind of a rivalry now. That's why I wanted to have you on here, because we're gonna have to do this, several times during the season to see how our teams are doing.
Right. I'm down with that. But just as long as everybody, y'all started it. Like, we didn't do that. That was just so disrespectful, man. That was disrespectful. So
I think something was said though. I believe they may have had some banter or something, and then. So
your response is, let's just all go stand on a logo.
I wouldn't have done it, but I'm just saying, because I remember what happened to us when we stepped on the terrible towel. Lindell White stepped on. We were killing the Steelers one game, and we had terrible towels all of a sudden over there in our bench area. And Lindell White was throwing it on the ground. He was stepping on it, kicking it, and I was like, oh man. This could end bad. Like, next time we played them, they smacked us. And then I got friends that are Steelers fans, so they was like, that's what happens when you step on a terrible towel.
So what you're saying is y'all didn't learn from y'all mistake the first time.
Listen, that may be what it was. It's always a few. It's always a few people on your team that's gonna do some crazy stuff, and
just like when Juju jumped out there. On the Browns, and then he got knocked the heck out in that game.
Cracked him, yeah.
And then posted later, to protect, for to protect the team, whatever. I'm not going to do that anymore. We was like, yeah, we know why you're not going to. You got knocked the heck out.
Yeah, Juju needs to stop all that dancing anyway and focus on being a great receiver. He's not even the number 1 receiver on the Steelers no more, and that's like, come on. Like when Antonio Brown left, that was you supposed to be number 1, but now you're like
competing with Claypool, and
you're number 3, like really, because Claypool then came in, and then Deontay Washington, or Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, I think Juju will be back to 1. I think he's going to make sure he gets back to 1. I think.
I don't know, Miss Regina. I don't know if he can, because to me, he don't take it. To me, I'm not saying he don't take. Let me say this. I don't want to say he don't take it serious, right? But a receiver celebrate after you do something.
Win the game.
Yeah. Don't be out there trying to be TikTok and all of that. Like, come on, bro. Like, focus on your football. Like, focus on the game. Focus on getting yourself mentally ready. So in the game, you don't have mental lapses. Like, I watched the Steelers, and I mean, he catches some balls, like, third quarter when you need somebody to really and that's cool. But, AB used to be Antonio Brown was a killer on the field. Right. I'm not, and I mean, of course you can't compare him to him, but I'm just saying, he could have been something, and he still could be something great. Maybe they're just not calling his number, you know what I'm saying? Or for whatever reason, he can't get open like he wants. So
I don't know.
Run some different
something
routes.
was going through them going on with them last year. Because I actually had Juju and Claypool. Well, I had Juju, And then Juju wasn't doing anything. Claypool started getting all the balls. So I went and picked up, Claypool off the waiver wire. But then I played this game all year about which one to put in. And they were like going back and forth. 1 week it was Claypool, and then 2 weeks it was Claypool. But then it would go to Juju. And I was like, and I could never catch the right one. I mean, it was pissing me off. So I don't know. I think Juju's going to try to get back in there, but definitely you can see the potential that Claypool has for sure. So, who wants it the most? Who wants it bad enough? So I did. I drafted Juju again in the best ball league going out of my thing, because it was 15 people, it's 15 franchises. So players are going out so fast. So we'll see. We'll see what he does. But yeah, I back to the Titans. Honestly, dude, I kind of cracked up laughing from Julio about the whole number thing. I thought that was funny. He was like, no, I'm going to take 2 because 2 times 11 is 22, and Derrick Henry is 22. And I was like,
yep.
Okay.
Oh, and 1 + 1 is 2.
Right.
He
Yeah.
was number 11,
that was like, every time I read that, I was like,
yeah.
But anyway, everybody has to admit, it seems like there's some real chemistry there. Those guys are going to push each other. Like, I do expect them to do well. I really do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm like half glad we're not playing you guys during this season, because that's like one less thing we got to actually contend with, on our road to the Super Bowl this year. So, we'll see you in the playoffs, but just not in the regular season. So,
and we're on a prove it mission too, because a lot of people they keep saying Julio's old and stuff. So we're on a prove it mission this year more than anything. Like, oh, so he's old. Well, let's see how old he really is. Let's see who y'all gonna check. You gonna check us 1-on-1? You sure?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, AJ's on one side, Julio's on this side, Josh Reynolds in the slot.
What divisions are you guys playing this season anyway?
Let me pull up our schedule, because I know that the first team that we play, which is I didn't understand this at all, but we played the Cardinals the first game of the season.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they got a great defense.
Yeah, they definitely did some work. That's my sleeper team.
They got a great defense. So it's like we're not afraid of them. It's just like, dang. You know what I mean? It's like that's the first. So okay. So we play the Cardinals on the 12th September. Turn around and play the Seahawks right after that.
Okay.
On the 19th. Then we play the Colts. We're gonna kill them. We play the Jets. We're gonna kill them. Jaguars. It'll be a good game. Jags don't look too bad. And I seen Tim Tebow. He's looking actually pretty good. And what I heard was they're going to use Tim Tebow in different situations. So they're going to use him tight end. They're probably using him to play a little bit of quarterback, just just to that wildcat offense. You might see him run the ball
right
on the goal line. You know what I mean? So, and then we play the Bills, Chiefs, Rams, Saints. We got a tough schedule.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough, but and then December 19th we play the Steelers. We play the Patriots November 28th. We gotta. It's gonna be a lot of good football though. It's not gonna be
for sure.
The games are not gonna be like, they're not gonna be killing us. If we lose, it'll be close.
Right.
And a lot of those games we lost last year were field goals. We couldn't kick a field goal to save our lives last year at all. But y'all killed us last year.
I just want to say we held number 22 to 34 yards. 34 yards. Like
that doesn't happen a lot either.
Sweet, dude. Yeah, so that game, it was sweet for us. It really was, because it was like, 2 games in a row. Y'all eliminated, and I was at that playoff game. I was at that
really?
playoff
Okay.
game in Baltimore, where you guys eliminated. It was like we couldn't get it going. It was almost like we were afraid. I was like,
The game Derrick Henry turned into a quarterback. You was at that game?
Yeah, quarterback. Then he was a receiver, and then I was just like, what is going on? I was like, they done pulled out every trick. Literally, we were looking at that game like, what is going on?
We almost won the AFC Championship. We almost won the championship.
And then when you came back and beat us again in the regular season, we're like, oh, you know what, y'all, we gotta do so. So we were like, I think I put some stuff under my eyes or something. Like we were hyped. Like we have got
you had to make
this game. Because I'm like, we got to win this game. So it was a good game, and it started off, going back and forth. Nobody was really scoring. And then once Lamar got up there and got that touchdown, it was like, oh no, we ready to go. And that's when things turned. And it was like, dude, we held him to 34 yards. Like, yeah, that was
yards.
Sweet. And then, they went and jumped on the logo, but it was like, that was only fair play. And the funny thing is, people still tried to, talk down about the Ravens because they did that. Like, we're just returning the favor, bro. What are you talking about? We didn't do that. We just returning the favor. And at home too. So yeah, it was a sweet win. It was a sweet win. So that's nice.
Yep,
so it'll be interesting to see what happens now. The next time we have to meet up, it'll be interesting.
Last question: Who, if not your team, like who do you think will be in the Super Bowl?
You said not my team?
Yeah, we can't pick our own teams. So if we can't pick our own teams, who do you think would be?
Well, then it's not going to be the Ravens or the Titans. I'm going to say from the you got to go with the Chiefs. That they could potentially get back. Dude, they fired their O-line and brought in all new people. So that he wasn't playing, including took Orlando Brown from our O-line. So so they got, and you can't keep down Patrick Mahomes. That dude was running for his life. And coach is going to come up with some new plays. So you got to say that the Chiefs definitely, they have a high probability of making it back to the Super Bowl. If it's not the Chiefs, I'm going to say if it's not the Chiefs and we cannot include the Ravens or the Titans, I'm going to say that perhaps the Bills. I would say the Bills would have an opportunity.
Me too, because they look good too.
Yeah, the Bills. They are looking, they got defense. They definitely got that offense. Josh is, he's getting better and better. He got Stephon Diggs, man. Stephon Diggs. And that dude is mobile. He can run.
Yeah.
I would have to say the Bills will be. And you know what? We didn't even get, as fans, when we lost to them in the divisional round last year, like, we weren't even pissed about it, believe it or not. Because, their fans, first of all, the best team won because, we only put 3 points on the board. So that was a field goal. So the best team obviously won. But it was their fans were, way cool, though. They were, unlike the Titans fans, the Bills fans weren't on there, talking trash. They was just, they didn't really care that it was the Ravens. They was just so happy to win. And so, I just really appreciated the Bills fans. And it was I straight went and, congratulated them on, Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that. Because they was just so happy. And when Lamar got hurt and had to go out, on the concussion protocol, they were donating to his foundation and everything. It's man, these fans were so cool. So I couldn't even be mad at them. I couldn't because they were so cool. Titans fans, not so much. Titans fans was definitely on there talking a bunch of trash, prior to the game and all that. They were definitely not.
That's
so
what we
much,
do.
But,
It's.
And I'm not mad at it. Trash talking is I like trash talk. So please believe I love trash talk. So yeah. So it was, but I was like, okay, y'all, okay. So I just went back to y'all page after we won that game. I was just reading all the I was just having a good time. Look at these comments because, the Titans fans were devastated.
Yeah, I think that y'all can win the division. And I believe we'll see y'all at probably first round. Somehow we're gonna play each other again, like this year.
I think so.
And it'll be a good game. It'll be a good game
for sure. For sure.
Well, Miss Regina, I had a great podcast. This was dope. You know, I want to thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and tell everybody, you know, how to get in contact with you as far as your Instagram, your Twitter, everything.
Okay. So She Talks Football is actually my Twitter handle and my Instagram handle at She Talks Football. And you'll be able to hear my podcast, She Talks Football, coming out soon. Probably next week. They're just currently being edited, and you'll be able to hear the audios on whatever platform you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Apple, or whatever. But then I'll also be releasing videos for future ones, and that will be on the and my audio podcast on the Undroppables platform. So you can make sure you follow the Undroppables on Twitter. They have a YouTube channel, and so they'll be there. They'll also be on my own personal She Talks Football YouTube channel. And also come and check me out in ClubHouse, where I met my boy here. So we have a good time in ClubHouse, and She Loves Football on ClubHouse, and coming on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. And so, yeah, we have a good time in there, just talking about everything football, all kinds of activities. We do trivia. I love trivia, so all kinds of stuff. So definitely, if you're on ClubHouse, come in and check us out there. And yes, thank you so much, Kevin, for having me on here. It's been a good time. I will definitely love to be back. And
for sure.
Yeah, like you said, talk about how our teams are doing. It's going to be interesting. I am like so excited. Dude, next Thursday. It all goes down starting next Thursday.
Yep.
So, but dude, what about those Cowboys? What were they doing last night?
I don't even know who it was on the field last night. It looked terrible.
I mean, he wasn't out there, and I didn't expect him to be. Hopefully, he's going to be well.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know, Cowboys, because that division is, is going to be close again. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it kind of burns me up that you can get into the playoffs with like a losing record, or an 8-9 record, and you act like that. Kind of burns me up. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, what those three teams do this season. So
for sure. Well, like I said, thank you again for coming on. Make sure y'all check out Miss Regina, She Talks Football podcast. Make sure y'all go follow the Undroppables, and and that's it. Oh, tighten up.
Ravens.
And
Baltimore Ravens.
This is Happy Hour with Lito, and we're out.